need some eye candy in this bitch. Welcome one and all back to another stream, late night stream. Wife's in the hospital, possibly gonna be giving birth soon to another daughter. So now I have some time. I've been very, very busy doing a lot of shit, getting things ready for new addition to the family. And life's been fucking tough. Especially not being able to get hours for work, not having time to do shit. Mind you, I don't even get paid for any of this. So anyone that tries to come off rip any of my comments in any of my videos or anything says I'm a grifter, you can go fuck yourself. I haven't made a single penny, at least not yet, on any of this shit. Not as much as fucking stinky ass, moldy ass people that talk about doing very, really, really bad things to people and hoping that really, really, really bad things happen to people, regardless of what they may or may not have done, and regardless of even figuring that out in the first place. So welcome. Actually, yeah, that's basically it. So before I just nuked you there, I was going to say I've just been looking at some things, some videos, commenting, and some different aspects of what's been going on in the world. Now, the touchy subject part, immigration customs enforcement is doing very bad things to people, very unnecessary things to people. Truly, honestly, I'm just gonna go to the channel and just show you at least what I've been posting, because this is all I've been able to do. And for those that actually follow, then sure, you'll understand this. For those that don't, then you won't. But just going over the trajectories as well as what's been going on with what the New York Times posted. So I'm just gonna go to my history and pull up a clip from elsewhere. Because you know what? Typically, I feel like personally as well, one of the best things you can do, oh my goodness, the history, well, whatever, to show people what you're seeing, right? Showing your perspective and all that other shit. That's why I don't mind these type of things being shown. I'm not doing weird shit like some other creators out there, or other people in general. Now, boop, boop, boop. This is what I was looking at before. I mean, I also have Hassan's take here that this is where I originally first saw it, and then saw a couple other things, but Talking Feds, Harry Litman.
Hey everybody, Harry.
Yeah. That's I always pause at the weirdest angles. So oh my god, oh my goodness. I think there was something here. Was there a video? Was there part? No, it's just him talking about it. Basically, if I can find, there is. Oop. Boom. I can't do that. Well, this is the problem with not getting paid. You get paywalled out of shit. But look it up. Go to New York Times or go look up one of the other creators that have been reporting on this. But basically, as I'm going to present to you here, I already called all the shit that was going on. When it came to the trajectories of what happened with Renee Good, for instance, all the shit that's been blowing up recently, including another video that I saw earlier of these two parents trying to get home, and there was a protest as well as ICE there holding a line, causing a ruckus, blocking a car and throwing tear gas underneath it, preventing it from moving, preventing this family from getting home. Parents and their little kid almost suffocated the kid to death with the tear gas. Flashbangs, letting off the airbags. Mind you, I've been in the comments, I mean, not even arguing, but just venting, really, about what certain people just talk about. So, but in the instance of, I mean, just the amount of ignorance, and this is the problem, this is genuinely the problem, is the sheer amount of ignorance of people not being able to take the time to just, look at information, look up sources, do the shit that I do, right? And so they're just going to talk about a part of their perspective. All right, collateral damage. So this is a good example. So I've been posting sounds like cruel and unusual actions from a not well regulated militia and criminal administration, with both breaking state sovereignty to me unconstitutional. I mean, it's true. Because fundamentally, we look at the actions that have been going on. We look at the treatment that these officers have been giving to people, mind you, with the whole precedent set for centuries of law enforcement activity. With policies that they're even breaking, their own policies that are in place about excessive force, like we saw in El Paso, Texas, with the detainee needing medical attention, they needed the medicine or whatever, and instead of getting that, they got a chokehold and died. And I'm not laughing because that's funny. I'm laughing because, like, holy shit. Like, the amount of information that's out there and what's going on that people are simply ignoring is the reason why this shit's being perpetuated. Because it's being defended through posturing where people just, their limited perspective, again, as we went over this channel when it comes to consciousness and how people derive their reality, right? How they see things as a form of consciousness, as something that exists, right? Because by the end of the day, human rights ensures our existence. Simple shit like that. When they're doing shit like suffocating babies in cars with tear gas, preventing a family from going home that lives right on the other side, right? I'm just gonna look here. Well, this guy was saying SCOTUS says otherwise. We're arguing over their shit. Oh yeah, this is one of the comments I got. Sounds like parents who need CPS called putting kids in harm's way. This was from a day, like yesterday. Before the information about exactly what this incident involved. Children hospitalized after flashbang hits father's car. After seeing the video of the account of what happened, and literally, actually, let me go back. I'm so disorganized because I haven't done this in a while. Let me go back. I mean, this is honestly the only thing I can do as, I mean, an individual on YouTube, as someone that wants a better future for their kids. Just flat out. That's it. All right? That's the only driving force that's really driving me to do the things that I do here on the channel. That drive me to participate in comment sections. Even if it's like this small scale, it's still something, because at least putting out there the right ideas, the right things, where people can take the time maybe to listen, you learn some shit, right? You learn about other people's experiences, other people's perspectives. So my response for this was, how are you going to say that about someone trying to drive home with no way of knowing what's going on around the corner during something like that? They're doing this shit in front of families and their homes instead of doing it the right way. In regards to the parents and their little kid getting tear gas and flashbang in their car as they're trying to drive home. All right? So, with that being said, it's we can keep going on and on and on. Right? How would you know if you haven't experienced or took the time to even understand anyone's perspective going through the type of situation while you're being ignorant of the possibility that they may live right where this was happening? And you could read the rest for yourself. That was my initial statements literally a day ago. So now let me go back to my history. I'll show you the instance that we're talking about. I don't have it pulled up right away, I which should have taken the time to do that, but I did not. Trying to see where the hell I saw it. Besides all the other shit I've been seeing today, like, god damn. That one. Huh. Wasn't this? Oh, wait, no, I think it was this one. Perhaps? No, it could have been. Oh, no, this was this one. Trying to find the exact part, though. Yeah, 2 children, including a 6-month-old, were hospitalized last night after federal agents deployed tear gas during Wednesday night's protests.
They were not going to a protest, and strangled a man to death in an.
That was that one. Now I want to see the actual video that I saw earlier. Which is very interesting. I don't see it right now because it was literally them testifying. There's also another thing I notice during some of the shit that I do on this channel is things change and disappear pretty often on the internet when you least expect it. Because I know what I saw. And either I'm just not finding the right one, or it's not there anymore. Which is interesting. Oh wait, no, it was this one.
Tonight,
It's ABC News, I believe.
Tension and anger eating earlier in the day. Sees Matt Rivers leading.
She wouldn't open her car door.
No, not that.
Destiny Jackson had her husband and 6 kids in the car, including a
Yes, it was this one.
when she got caught in chaotic protests after ICE shot a Venezuelan man during a traffic stop.
And this was released 3 hours ago.
And then, like,
This was
one
the
of them
instance, yeah.
were, like, like one of them or two of them like stopped at my car and was just like, "Get the f out of here!" And I'm like, "We're trying," but in that instance, I'm like, "Don't you put your foot on that gas because I'd be damned if they try to shoot us like Renee by saying that we hit them with our car. Immediately, once they got behind our car, they rolled tear gas under it.
They say grenades detonated their airbags, trapping them inside as gas filled their van. Then their 6-month-old baby stopped breathing.
Having to get my baby like mouth to mouth and people like pouring milk all over my other kids. I thought I was dying, honestly.
Thankfully, everyone now okay.
So, what did I say in that comment? About someone going home? I mean, bro, call this shit. Before it was even, this was just released, what, 3 hours ago? Fucking called this shit. And that's not the only thing that I called. So we go back to the channel, go back to the post, because this is, again, the only place I've been able to post anything. Alright, so the trajectories of how Renee Good was shot. I know in the original accounting of one of the shots going to the head was an if, right? And I made multiple comments about that trajectory, specifically. Looked at that as well, and with the angle of entry, and the 2 most likely places where her head was alongside with the handedness of the officer and the lack of an exit wound on the headrest. Mind you, a lack of an exit wound would mean penetration from the bullet itself. You can see on the blood splatter, right? From that photo, it's on the upper right side. So if you're getting hit from the left, probably top left, going to right, you see where that angle is. You draw a straight line going into the car. So there's a little bit of depth here that needs to be perceived. Same thing when, if it's simple test of this too, is if you sit in your car, fuck you, train. If you sit in your car and point your arm toward where that bullet hole would be, which would basically be on that pillar right there, you can tell the angle from where your finger's pointing to where the head is going. Draw that line out. Draw that line right out past the front of your car to the driver's side corner. Because that's where he shot from, his right hand. And this wasn't even the only fact from that New York Times post that was made. Well, the connection, rather, because this was a little bit overlooked. Now there's been further confirmation that she was indeed shot in the head toward that direction. Whether this first bullet was the one that did it, or the one in the chest, I mean, I could argue that with that angle, where he was placed and how he was jumping back while putting his hand on the hood of the car, or basically hitting off the car. He didn't get hit, he lunged forward and jumped off the car with his phone hand, with his left hand, while he had his gun drawn with his right, and took that first shot. That bullet hole, the size of it, a 9mm bullet, or even a 45, obviously it's the tip of the head, it's not the whole cartridge. It's it's smaller than that hole. So that raises some questions as well as to where the gun was located when he shot. Because if he lunged over the hood with his right hand out and the gun right there. Muzzle was right there, angled, either at her head or in her chest. Because she got hit the right side of the chest, as the New York Times post confirmed, left side of the head, which would be facing the driver's side, the top left side. The blood splatter obviously isn't covering the bottom. This isn't from her chest. It's not from those two shots from her chest. It may be if it hit like where her neck is, but no, that's the top of the head. And there's no bullet hole, at least as far as I can see, in that headrest. So I don't know, Chief. I don't think he was in front of that car, Chief. And this was posted 7 days ago. Now we're having forensic reporting, suggesting the angle of the trajectory that I called out. And you can see further in his video from his phone, mind you, his hand is not directly over the hood of the car, because clearly you can see the grill. And if you take out your phone, this is another thing you can do to test this out, right? It's pretty simple. Take out your phone and just record the front of your car, see if you can get the right proportions relative to the zoom level from when you pull your phone out, which is usually the 1x zoom. Do that. Have your right arm extended out, because apparently that was where the phone was at first, before he switched it to the left, got his gun ready before she started driving, as she was turning the wheel, or before she started going forward and to the right. So that's another observation that was made. So many things. It's wild. And if posts were more hyped, or if anyone even gave a shit about the channel, then I mean, I already made all these observations. Mind you, the video is being taken by his left hand over the hood of the vehicle, away from his body, while he shot the gun with his right hand. 7 days ago. If someone like me could just look at his video and figure all this shit out, I mean, this is what forensics people do. It's just, you look at angles. You can literally reenact the situation yourself. You got a phone. It's not that hard to figure out where the positioning would be. How far back away from the car he was. You can see it in the first videos that came out of this incident, where his feet were relative to the car. And when it comes with the impact, again, his left hand's over the hood of the car. Car's going to the right. If he's getting hit, if he actually got hit by the car, he would have went straight back. Instead, he went toward the driver's side and toward his teammates, his fellow officers. That's where he landed. How does that make sense if the outward angle of the car, the nose of the car, is away from him? Let me zoom back to a normal zoom. Right? You hear contact with his hand that was over the hood with his left hand, right? The phone hand, because it gets hit back like this. You hear that. He put his hand on the car and pushed off while he was shooting. You don't hear the gunshots during the video at all, because all you hear is the phone mic clunking off the car. He put his hand on the car. His legs didn't get hit. None of that shit happened. There's so many different ways to observe this. Again, bro, his feet are right there. You see his feet right there. Before the car was even passing, this is when the first shot was right there. As soon as she started moving. Wheel cut. Bro. And so many people trying to argue. Yeah, he's right there. He looks like he's in front of the car. You see that gap? See that gap from where his car is to the nose of hers? See how far our wheels are cut then compared to this photo? Where you see from that angle and the line, the heavy shadow going down here. You see the angle? You can see the angle. It's right there. And you can tell the width of the tire right there. It's basic geometry, guy. If any of y'all paid attention to fucking high school, you'd figure this shit out. This is the problem. There's too many fucking dumbasses. Like you, Asmonmold. Like, of course I got no chatters. Who cares? Who cares about the truth these days? You can be aware enough and conscious enough to be able to observe this type of shit and call it out. Days before, people that just got the information of the shots into the body, I mean, I took a guess at 3 or 4 shots. Because that's what we heard. Ended up being 4. It was obviously 1 to the head. So the fact that that was even questioned is ridiculous. Absolutely absurd. Now, the only other question is, was this shot, I mean, it had to have been aimed toward her right side, or the top left of the head right there. So where does this one land? Because this was when he was technically in front of the car. If you really wanted to prove that. But then again, if you did the simple test that I said earlier, just sit in your driver's seat, take your arm, put in, I suggest your right arm, because that is where she got shot anyways, so that's even more accurate. Or you can try to just take a ruler to the center of your forehead, from where your headrest is, point it to where that hole would be on your car windshield. And then stick that pointer straight out past the front of your car or over your hood. You'll figure it out for yourself. And then you take the whole motion of turning the opposite direction, right? The intent's behind the wheels, guys. Like, all this evidence was enough. More than enough. And nonetheless, the dude left. Right? Typical police policy. They're staying there to file a report. Or they're going out in an ambulance. He didn't even go out in an ambulance. He didn't need to. We know that. We know he was fine. This is nothing. Called this 9 days ago. And another aspect was the fact that they were still getting by. We see them driving past her. She's blocking a lane, but they're still getting past her. It looks like you can see where this car is parked right here. It's a one way. Okay, she's not blocking the whole road. Sure, they're protesting, but she's waving them through. Waving them through. Telling them to go. While her wife is arguing with the future murderer of her. Insane. Insane. And to think, like, who would really be fearful in that situation? Someone who's seen the last year of ICE aggression, of action. Someone who's been paying attention to that shit, being approached in that instance. If Renee was obviously scared in that situation, at that moment. To a point where she locked her doors, obviously locked her spouse out the car, and wanted to leave. That's it. But everyone's so disillusioned by the facts of the situation, or they don't want to put all the facts together. They just want to pick what they want to believe. Okay? It's dumb. And it needs to be called out for what it is. So that's what I've been doing. Just been out there calling out for what it is. I think that's the best thing you can do. Whether it's on Twitter, I'm also looking at other shit, like still more quantum physics, learning about Taylor series now. So now I understand that. Eula's identity I'm looking up a little bit more, as well as like different transformations in the numbers. Like relative to cosine plus I times sine of x, yada yada, or sine of theta, I should say. Because it's like a rotational type thing, if it's like e to the I pi or something like that. I'm looking at a lot of shit, trying to learn all these different aspects of physics in general. There's shit like this, because this is what I like to learn. I like to know what's going on in life. I'm sure a lot of you do too, but a lot of you seem to want to believe what you want to believe and to push your own narratives, whether you realize it or not. And again, our perspectives, yeah, they're going to differ, but there comes a point in time where we're so far ahead of ourselves. It's easy to figure out through what's in front of us, but we're so disillusioned because we don't even know if what's in front of us is real. And maybe not all of us. Some of us still have a good eye for understanding what is and what isn't. Again, learning aspects about math, science, like being aware of what makes up the reality around you, how to measure it, right? These different ideas are fundamental for human success. But when we become overwhelmed with a population that just wants to be ignorant, just wants to be happy, right? There's a lot of reasons why someone would be happy. Some for good, some for bad. I don't like that, personally. Like, sure, just like every other person, I want to be happy too. But the only way I could truly be happy is I understand what's going to happen next. And being able to use that information to survive. To help me and my family survive. But not necessarily through monetary gain. Because again, I'm not monetized. At least on YouTube. On Twitch, I am, but I haven't made anything. I haven't been able to stream. And that is what it is, but at the same time, people are going to be missing out on maybe some decent insight. Because whether you believe that I'm right or wrong, at least it's gonna get you thinking. And that's all I try to do. That's all I want to do. Is to really just get you thinking. And then there's this other little random thing. So I did this comment like 4 months ago, and for what it just keeps going. It keeps going. There's a war on existence, not just on consciousness. And it's fascinating to me that even like now, like 11 minutes ago, I'm still getting like 80 replies. Bro. So it's pretty cool, man. That's cool. That I like. When we talk about just things of wonder, something that we can kind of agree on, it is true. That's what I like to make this channel about, is the truth. But then I also get comments like this. Which this is funny though. This is like it was again the sounds like cruel and unusual actions from a not well-regulated militia called ICE, who are also breaking state sovereignty to me. Easily enough evidence over the past year alone to price it too. Truly unconstitutional behavior. I meant to say prove it, but I don't give a shit. You get the point. And you can also technically price it with how much tax dollars it costs. Let's be real. So now we have this guy's like, oh, now you care about the Constitution. Funny. Bro, I got a website with the constitutional analysis on it that I post here. I have, I think, a couple of videos multiple videos going over different aspects of the Constitution, Declaration of Independence, and the constitutional analysis loosely. It's funny to me that someone could just maybe it's a bot. It could be a bot. Who knows? Or is someone just stupid enough to seem like a bot at this point? So just, that's silly. That's an easy, like, you just click on my name, look at my channel, and understand. But it's so easy for someone to just look at a username and assign me to a group based on what they read. And think that they're smart. It's insane to me. That's the price of ignorance. And again, read the Constitution ignorant. The funniest part about this comment, right? Compared to a carrot about the Constitution. I kind of just copy and pasted part of it, but when you read, it sounds like cruel and unusual actions. 8th Amendment. From a not well-regulated militia. 2nd Amendment. We're also breaking state sovereignty. 10th Amendment. It is truly unconstitutional behavior because that's already 3 amendments right there broken. Fundamentally. And I read the Constitution. What, I don't know if that's in support of what I said or not. I don't even know anymore. It could just be a bot. I don't know. But it's so crazy to me. Like, I literally am saying lines out of those amendments. And what, brother? It's like you never read the Constitution. So, I don't know, man. But between dealing with reality and health problems and family health problems and just there's a lot of, and lack of income, kind of, kind of, because it's hard to have time to work when there's a lot to do. There's a lot. There's just so much. There's so much. There's always so much. But I miss doing this. Oh man, just going over some of the shit. And yeah, again, bro, I don't understand. Oh, actually, this was a cool comment. So I'm just going over comments at this point because there's some content. Fuck it. So The Average Person is Actually an Idiot by Saros TV. It's a good watch. Check it out. Because I mean, this comment I made before I even watched it. But from my experience, yeah, you're absolutely right. And at least what we do here on the channel, kind of, just like we did with Asmon Mold, just calling it out. Call it out for what it is. You know, the whole one side uses the whole call a space fade, whatever the fuck that is, right? The irony in that is when they do that, they do it absent of specific nuances that obviously benefit their point. It happens all the damn time. all the damn time. And plus, with the understanding how posturing actually works these days and how a lot of people maybe just intuitively understand it, or maybe they don't understand it and act as that because they see, I mean, literally people in our government getting away with everything just by posturing. So if you continue to allow that type of shit to happen, then you can call it grifting, you can call it all these, but at the end of the day, it's posturing. And that is absent of what their intent might be behind said posturing. Because, I mean, the action itself, you can use it to deceive for good, but it's very rarely that people do that. That's just how it's been. There's so many different stories, allegories, and historical events that have occurred where people have postured for awfully terrible things. So, I mean, unless you press people on their beliefs, on the facts of reality, on anything, then they're not going to question them. Because if you want them to take the time to understand, you got to kind of have people question their beliefs, right? Because again, fundamentally, we are all limited in perspective and our understanding. And that depends on our experiences, the ones that we perceive and the ones that we live through, right? Again, that's the measure of consciousness in terms of understanding. Because the better you understand your lived and perceived experiences, like the realities of each, fundamentally you understand reality. You're more conscious of reality, you're more aware of it. And you're more woke, I guess, but is that really the worst thing? Instead of causing, civil rights violations and really, really horrible global catastrophes, or in support of horrible global catastrophes. So, support of loss of life because you feel vindicated? No, that's no. Again, the Constitution in and of itself is a means to preserve existence, to support existence of people within the country. It's fundamental. It's just how it is. And people don't want to take the time to simply even understand that. They don't care about that because that's not their means to their ends. That is not what they want their means to be, because it's not going to get them the ends that they want. And that's just something that a lot of people don't seem to realize, that once people are hooked on what they want, that they truly believe will make them happy, whether it's, saying certain things for financial gain, or believing in certain aspects of actions to justify them over the truth behind the consequences of said actions in all regards of reality, there's a problem. There's going to be an imbalance against the existence of whatever that action is going to affect. Because it's going to act on a resource, it's going to act on a person, it's going to act on something. It's going to change that. And typically when you change things, you break them down. You can break them down and build them back up, which, I mean, human society is on the verge of going through that anyways. But it's tough, because it's very scary times ahead, and if you really want to survive what's to come, then you gotta at least have an idea what's going on around you. What's affecting your lifestyle, what's affecting your finances, your growth or lack thereof, what's limiting your opportunities for growth, for success, for survival. It's just those simple things. Because by the end of the day, as we exist, as we want to be happy, we need to exist to be happy. Unless you just hate life that much. So, it's moments like these where, again, if you want a better environment around you, you've really got to press other people. You do. Because if you don't, you allow their innate human ignorance to drive their entire lives instead of questioning anything for a moment. And not many people know how to look things up, or simply never want to look things up. to verify its real relevance and effect that any given situation has relative to reality. So their comment, and I mean, I understand it. While I do understand and agree with you to a degree, public shaming is extremely dangerous and risks affecting innocent people. I don't even mention public shaming. So even reading back to this, I think maybe there was an assumption to a point. I mean, when you press someone, I mean, depending on the perspective received by the audience, I guess you can consider it public shaming, but how do you shame a cockroach? You can't. That's the point. He doesn't care. He's not gonna care. He's doesn't matter. And his followers too, they don't obviously care. I've gotten so many fucking threats from them for the few videos that I did make. And yeah, I'm talking about Zach. I'm talking about Asmongold. So, and that's a problem. That's only been brought up because, I mean, the things he's been saying in support of ICE and all these things that have been happening that I'm addressing now, it's a problem. It is a problem. And whether you agree with it or not, I mean, violent behavior and violent will, violent actions, violent intent is usually going to result in a response that is going to be violent. And I mean, we're seeing that with Minneapolis right now. We're seeing that with Minnesota, with what ICE is doing to the people and what it's causing, cause and effect. Especially when you add another 1,000 troops to cause more havoc and chaos that we've seen over the last couple of weeks now. It's a problem. And I don't want my kids to be growing up with a society full of fucking problems like that. I'm being honest. And I would rather press and do the right thing and press socially, but we still have a First Amendment right, even though that's fucking out the window because we're all getting watched anyways. Everyone already knows what the fuck's going on. Everything's on the internet. And if someone just doesn't like how you present something, then that can mean the end of your life. Society has gotten pretty freaking bad with that. And now that there's government systems with individuals in control that are willing to use power in that way, that justify it, that protect those sorts of actions, the posture behind it, it's a problem. It is unconstitutional. Now, what do we do here? Because obviously, if they keep sending out troops, if they even call in the military, that's another concern. Is there enough people in the military that are willing to do this? And my other concern that I've mentioned before too is for the people that keep quitting their freaking federal jobs when they're actually good people working. That's the worst thing you can do. You're handing the keys to the kingdom over. Yeah, sure, you want to do it in protest, you want to do it in... You're not helping anyone. You're just giving them more space. It's not pressing any. That's not doing anything. You can do the investigation and just do a shit job and get fired that way. I'd rather you do that. You waste their time. Be the right thing to do. Buy time or something. Or figure out the process. No one cares. That's not doing anything. And there's a lot of people that are getting sick of just like the word salads that are coming out of fucking... It's dumb. It's dumb. It's so stupid. It's like, I get you want to do it the right way in that sense, but niceties are... They're running out. They are running out very quickly. With how people are seeing the things that are going on. The mistreatment, the excessive force, the abuse of power, the fact that, I mean, there was a leak of 3,500 names of ICE individuals. One of them literally being the head of the Proud Boys. What? And not counting literal people that were convicted of violent actions at the Capitol. Like, what else do you do? What can you do? If they're, I mean, the plan obviously is, as we've called it out before, is cause chaos, cause havoc, make a reason to invoke the Insurrection Act so you can cancel elections. Because they know they're going to lose in midterms. It doesn't matter. They're going to do everything to subvert elections. The Supreme Court even passed well, they were in agreement to that for any election, the opposition can question anything. Anything. Basically, you can push off an election. You can filibuster elections now. Is what I'm saying. And that's what's going to happen. It's over. I don't know what people are going to do. I don't know what we're going to do financially. I don't know what any of us are going to do. And I think that's the hardest part, is it's hard to find solutions in a society so screwed up. Even driving to the hospital today, after my wife had to get admitted, I saw about like 10 people cutting through lanes of traffic, going about 100 miles an hour through, mind you, like mildly thick traffic, cutting in front of me and shit. It's gotten a lot worse. I've noticed over the past 10 years that traffic in general has gotten so fucking reckless. It's insane. And I've made comments too about, like, maybe have more police officers patrolling, like, constantly on the highways, because people take advantage of that shit. Like, if you're in the passing lane and you're going, like, consistent, like, 80, 90, whatever, like, maybe 10, 20 over the speed limit, like, it's the passing lane, I would figure that you would be going faster than the rest of the traffic. At least where I'm from. I know some states are all fucked up with their traffic regulations and insanely prejudicial or skeptical or whatever. But having someone like cut from right, left, like trying to do Fast and the Furious shit in an SUV, like, come on, man. I got a family to take care of. I don't want to fuck around with that shit. It's so bad. And it genuinely comes from ignorance. And without understanding that first, where those sorts of dangerous behaviors come from, without pushing people's ignorance, then nothing's going to change. You're just going to keep allowing it to happen. So shout out to the Ford worker that called the president out for who he really is. That's for damn sure. And that is another, I mean, come on. If you still support this administration, you're supporting that same kind of action, the same kind of a PDF file protector. That's really what you want history. Then you think you're going to eliminate all the opposition to where you can just make history to what you want it to be? Are you really that fucked up? Like, you do not care about humans? I mean, we're come to a point where the technology is possible. You can just nuke everything if you really fucking want to do. Leave an island left, and then wait for the dust to settle after, like, generations of new families. And I'm hoping I'm not giving any crazy ass fucking orange peeled bad idea, but I'm not surprised that hasn't happened yet. Or I am surprised that hasn't happened yet. Or no, maybe not surprised. Maybe it's just like any other wild animal. Once you corner them far enough, then maybe, yeah, they'll act out. Keep throwing ice at Minnesota. That's what you're gonna get. The Insurrection Act, it's all a house of cards, and it's falling one by one. That slippery slope is now turned to edge of a cliff. Edge of a cliff. Jesus. It's late. I'm tired. I'm rambling. But I'm going to put this out there as a way to catch up with everything crazy that's going on. So check out the post. Check out the New York Times article. Just go. I mean, this is the same shit. I posted this like days ago. So I'm ahead of the curve. I've been ahead of the curve, but no one pays attention. Right? It's that simple. Same thing with the PDF files, and oh my god, just so much of this stuff. And bro, Bill, you should have testified too. You should have got up there and just, like, you just need to call out for what it is. And when you don't, people get away with shit. That's all. Alright? So same thing with you, Asmongold, you smelly fucking piece of shit fucking retarded fucking, oh my god, awful, awful. And no, I'm not molding. I'm just disappointed. Your dad's rolling in his fucking grave right now. I swear. It is so bad, dude. It's so bad. I'm sorry, man, but it's bad. You can send a hate mob after me. Go ahead. Whether you intentionally do it or not, I don't care. I mean, you said you want to do that, so sure. Feed me the algorithm. Feed me all that hate, and I'll turn that shit right around. I'm sure I'll get a good few followers from that. Subscribers, at least people that have a fucking sense of sense, have a conscience, that don't have violent tendencies and self admits it at times. And honestly, like, come on, it's, you want to call a spade, fucking Hassan. Like, seriously, find the clips where he fucking admits his violent tendencies. Just come on, dude. That's the other thing. There's so much shit in the past. There's so much shit that's probably been deleted or manipulated or just lost to time. Most of it's just lost to time. But you can. There's so much proof in the pudding, man. How people have been. I mean, I stopped watching him a while ago because that just, who cares if not every girl has enough cleavage? Who cares about not having enough big tits? I mean, sure, you want that. There's websites for that, dude. All right, there's other games. There are games out there like that. You don't play them though. You don't. Or maybe you do. I don't care. Stop saying stupid shit and trying to sound smart saying it. Sure, you get paid for that, but at what cost? You're hurting people about it. You're hurting people that you used to call your friends. Like, god damn, dude. That's the other thing too. Like, I grew up with YouTube, right? With the internet in general. I'm a millennial. And just seeing all this shit is, it's so bad that they can't just get to talking about the brass tacks of things, the nuances, because they'd rather posture behind keywords and rhetoric and just lines that's spewed by some other person. And I can understand that because, at least imagination, like how our minds work, again, we ingest what we perceive and what we live through by the end of the day. But we need more intention of seeking a better society. Unless maybe we are just overpopulated and maybe sure just go for each other's throats at this point. Who knows? I mean, time will ultimately tell, and I'm just worried, man. That's all. That is all. So, if anyone gives a shit, like, if you don't, then whatever. I know it's just a lot of yapping, but a lot of people get paid for yapping nowadays. Honestly, almost everyone gets paid for yapping. Like, what's the point when we have robots able to do everything anyways? Like, if you want humanity to survive, what's gonna come next? Whatever might come next, then start considering existence. Start considering the significance of humanity. Start considering that, rehabilitation does work, and there's better ways to dealing with certain issues, and that when you're ignorant, you can cause the worst things to happen without realizing or intending it. It's just a fact. Or if you allow these certain actions to go unchecked and not really, I mean, the politicians are trying and they're getting investigated for speaking out. But y'all need better lingo. Like, just call it for what it is. Call them fucking dumbasses. Call them fucking retards. No offense to special needs people or people with physical disabilities. Honestly, those people are so much better than the ones in the executive administration. So much better. I would rather, like, fill the roles with friggin' Down syndrome and autism. I would rather that. They're genuinely, like, so much smarter and better for our country than what we have now. It is actually insane. Like, and not even insane. I mean, good. I'm glad that at least humanity's evolving in a direction that's preserving humanity with some sort of goodwill and understanding. But these spoiled fucking brats, man. Genuinely, they just, sure, you talk your shit, say what you want to say, but by the end of the day, you're wrong. If this is the type of shit that you're gonna support and stand behind. That's just it. And support getting kids getting tear gas to the point where they can't breathe because you're preventing their parents from driving you home. Or mothers speaking out in the middle of the road against something that they don't like. Mind you, again, officers were fucking speeding right in front of her. She was letting them go. It's the narratives, it's the lying, everything else. Just call it out better. Do better. Don't give these people concessions verbally. They don't deserve it. You got a First Amendment right. Fucking use it. Stop being a bitch. A lot of you politicians. Fucking, oh my god. Stop appeasing sides, man. Just push them. Press them. Sure, they're gonna get violent anyways. They're gonna hurt you anyways. We have so many decades worth of information and statistics that one political spectrum is more violent than the other. We know this. Obviously, the people that like their guns are gonna be more violent. And I mean, I get it. But at the same time, if you don't understand responsibility or significance of humanity and preserving it, this is what's gonna happen. You're again, ICE is not a well-regulated militia. They are not. The police force is, the military is, not ICE. They don't follow their own policies. Regulations, policies, same fucking thing. How can you call yourself well-regulated if you're not following regulations? Even police enforcement standards when you're enforcing law enforcement activity on US citizens, which is not your job. That is up to law enforcement, which you impede in their actions daily. It's insane. In fact, you make their job so much harder. It's just a fact. You guys can go through the courts and do the right thing. You have 4 years. You don't have to do all this shit. There's no need. Just because you took away asylum status and decided to make people seeking a better life here friggin' illegal, just as a standard, because that's what happened. The executive orders, man, just, you can read them. It's people that blatantly support this shit because they don't believe asylum seekers deserve anything. They don't believe humans wanting a better life deserve to come here. America's a country club now. You gotta pay $50 million to join. Or $5 million or whatever the fucking price is now. Wake up. Sure, money's only gonna matter for so long. Gold's only gonna matter for so long. In fact, the people that are hoarding all the gold is literally the fucking president. So you're not getting any of that. Let's be real. Once money loses its value, you're shit. So Asmund, stop being a fucking dumbass. It's crazy, the self-destructive ignorance of humanity. It boils down to just primitive behavior. But again, I mean, I guess that's just how humanity is, because we're all born not knowing shit, so we're all born ignorant by default. I could see why, we're trying to make something that think for us, but we can also see the effects pretty clearly of what happens when you try to make something to think for us and people are unable to think for themselves. And that was a funny comment too. One more. Ready? Stop using AI. Just after arguing with this individual about ICE activity, about how they're doing unconstitutional things, as the Constitution is the supreme law of the land, but unfortunately, hey, these people don't believe that. They're not American. They're traitors. It's just how it is. You refuse to follow the Constitution, you're a traitor. That's the standard. You purposefully refuse because you don't agree with it. You you don't agree with the precedent, that's traitorous behavior. That's non-American. You want it changed, you go through Congress. You want things changed, you go through court. You don't just wish it away. It's just not how it works. Because you threaten the Constitution, you threaten the framework to preserving existence in this country. For all. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness for all. So, question everything. Figure it out for yourself. Stop being a stupid mouthpiece. Stop. You're not gonna get anywhere, and you're always gonna have people like me just talking down to you. Because that's all you deserve at this point. And honestly, I enjoy poking the bear a little too much sometimes. But you know what? I don't care. I don't see anyone else actually fucking calling out. I mean, Kyle Kalinske is probably the closest one that actually calls shit out for what it is. Hassan kinda, but he tiptoes around so much shit because it's so easy for him to get fucking postured on. Oh my god. I mean, for a regular like me, for just some ordinary fucking person, yeah, get the threats and all that other stuff, but it's not too much really the posture on with me. The shit doesn't. It just doesn't work. It just does not work. Because I mean, if there's something I'm wrong about, sure, I can concede that, and I can look for more into it. But then I can also get back to you and still figure something out. And that is what posturing is, after all, anyways, right? Is figuring out another way around someone else's argument by any means necessary. And whether you're lying or just making shit up or repeating NPC lines, any of that shit. It's all it is. So, where's my money? And it's only some entertainment after all, right? But I'm just speaking nonsense because I'm getting bored at this point. And if you stuck along for the ride, which, oh, I have a viewer. It could be myself though. I don't know. Oh, it's an hour long. Wow. Yeah, I don't have anything coherent really to put together. It is all a little loose base, but this is just about what I've been up to. Besides speaking out on the Epstein stuff and ICE activity and everything else. Oh my god. Just go check out the channel. I mean, link is obviously the channel name. Just click on it. The Trump derangement syndrome. Oh my god. If I had time to make a video, it would literally be this right now. True. True. Oh my god. Oh yeah, the Rob Reiner shit too. Oh my god. Yeah, I haven't had time to do anything for a few months. I think, yeah, the last thing that I did was, what, 2 months ago? And besides, I think I loaded like a short couple of things. Yeah, I mean, go check out the channel. I have some perspectives. Not always the best sounding, but it's as real as you're gonna get. Also, damn, I wish I had more time to play Arc Raiders. That'd be great. Oh yeah, ooh, one more thing. Actually, no, I'll do a separate stream. Random. Anyways, I'll post this. Enjoy it. Welcome back, woo. And bye-bye. Be safe out there. Take care. Don't be stupid. I'm just dead air. Dead air. Yep, dead air. Okay, maybe this cuts out, maybe not. I don't know. Alright, bye.